Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in Jew. Are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching now. If you're feeling charitable, please smash the subscribe button and the like button, and please do, if you want, if you feel like it, if you're feeling in a good mood, follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the dceu. The Snyder community, you and me, you sitting there and me, have been accused of being bullying, being aggressive, getting into people's comments and mentions about the Snyder Cut. The other day, a writer was very upset because he said he liked a redeal of Henry Cavill's Superman costume brighter, and us, the Snyder community, apparently went in on him, right? I think that's wrong, by the way. I think that's wrong. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, right? And we shouldn't go attacking people. But when was the last time you heard anyone defend Autumn? When she was being bullied before she tragically took her life, she was being bullied online because of who her father was, right? That's all I'll say about Autumn, right? Because we've got to be respectful here and respectful of her memory. Did anyone care that she was being bullied? Did all these bloggers do any articles? When was the last time you saw a movie blogger or a high-profile director or creative come out and defend Zack Snyder? And Zack Snyder was a creative with a big studio on one of the biggest properties of all time, the DC Cinematic Universe, the DCEU. And he was bullied off that property. Who came to Zack Snyder's defense apart from us, the fans? No one. Who's asked Warner Brothers the hard questions? Journalists and bloggers like they should? No, not one of them. Not one of them has put a microphone in their face on red carpets or anything and said, what happened with Zack Snyder? Why did you treat him the way he is? Kevin Sujihara is not at Warner Brothers anymore. Why doesn't someone try and interview him and hold him to account? I would hold you to account here on Big Mouth, Kevin. I would, because I hold you responsible. Would I attack you? Would I be venomous? No. But I would ask you some hard, searching questions. But people like you, Kevin, cannot be questioned. Cannot be questioned. You can destroy people's lives and people's careers because of your bottom line and your company's bottom line, and you can walk through the cracks. This is what this industry is. I get it now. It's a country club. It's a country club that doesn't like being questioned, especially by tin pot little consumers who are not important to them. Basically, we are like the crap. We are the shit on the end of their shoe, even though we are so powerful and we don't even know it. It was the Snyder fandom who brought to light what they did to Zack. It was Zack Snyder with his bravery and his zest on Vero that's exposed what they did to him. But we're the bullies. We're the villains of the story, are we? No, we're not the bullies. The bloggers are the bullies. The mainstream fans who constantly used to bully Zack on Twitter, and in the end he kept his account but barely came on it. That you frightened the guy off of Twitter, right? And God knows what you did to his good wife as well on social media. Who knows, right? It's not us who are the disease. We were enjoying our movies. We were enjoying the DCEU. And you destroyed it for us. The bloggers, the mainstream fans. Warner Brothers themselves, Sujihara. You messed it up for us. You did. In terms of Jeff Johns, he is a comic book man and he saw things differently to Zack. That's his point of view. That's the way I see that thing. I still think that Jeff Johns and Zack Snyder could have put away their differences and kind of compromised so you could have the vision of Zack and the vision of Jeff. I think those two married together, actually, by the way, would have been a beautiful thing. This is a situation that goes very, very deep for everyone in the Snyder community, and everyone, and Zack Snyder, of course, and the actors who were betrayed on the Justice League movie. Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, all betrayed. They worked their butts. Gal Gadot, is it her birthday today or a couple of days' time? Happy birthday for whenever, Gal. We all love you, right? All those actors worked hard, did their best work for the director they were inspired by, right? And they were let down. That hard work was just binned. It's somewhere now in a vault or in a little thingy, right? A computerized thing you slip into a device, whatever, right? We were all betrayed. We have every right to be angry. But we're the bullies. A few weeks ago, Fandom Wire, aka Andy, was accusing us of being the bullies, bullying poor little Warner Brothers. No, it isn't bullying. It's a campaign. It's holding an important entity to an account. If Warner Brothers was the government, right? The government, they will be held to account. The government are always held to account. But people in the entertainment industry don't want to be held account. And we, the Snyder community, are bringing down these house of cards. And that truly is extremely important. The Snyder community and Zack Snyder are fighting for something precious. Zack's vision of Justice League, which is out there, which can be completed, can be finished, and we can see it's there. Probably one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. And we can see it. And you expect us to relent? You expect us to say no? We're not, leave it. No, let's just move on. No. This film is there. This is not just about seeing this film for me and for most of us, all of us, I would say. But 80% of course is. But it goes deeper than that. This is about the Hollywood condition and the state of the entertainment industry and how they're a country club and they can do whatever they want. They can employ each other's daughters, goddaughters, godsons, and not give anyone else an opportunity. And when it comes to it, when Rian Johnson was being attacked by the fandom menace, they were all defending him. The whole of Disney, the whole company, right? Coming up against the fans, right? Who defends Zack Snyder? Steven Spielberg? No. George Lucas? No. James Gunn, who's a friend or at least has worked with Zack before? No. None of these people, and I love James, I'm a big James Gunn fan by the way, but none of these prominent people within the industry at Warner Brothers, at Disney, at Universal, no one stood up for Zack. What kind of industry is that? Is that even an industry worth preserving when one of their own workers, one of their own creatives was treated so hideously and the walls of power everywhere went silent? Oh, they're all for tweeting about women and toxic masculinity. The extreme left men and women, they're happy to be tweeting that a man held a door open for one of their famous friends and it was just indecent to do such a horrible thing. They were all happy to tweet vile against Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips and Warner Brothers for doing a film about male mental health. That was important. But when it came to a creative, a director, a good person who was betrayed and destroyed and lost his job, right? I know he's working on Army of the Dead and that's going to be great. But he was working on the DC cinematic universe. This was an opportunity of a lifetime for Zack. And he was doing a good job. He was making the money. Maybe not the money that they wanted, but that would have come. And it's not about sacking someone. Every employer, every studio has the right to remove a creative, an employee. It's the way it was done. They knew what happened after Batman v Superman. They could have stopped Justice League in its tracks, even if Zack had started filming 10 units or whatever, right? They could have said, Zack, stop. This isn't going to work. We need to go our separate ways. It would have been less painful, right? It would have been painless. It would have been fair. It would have been direct and it would have been honest. But not the entertainment industry. They allowed him to make his film, sweat, blood. And then, when he completed his film and he lost his daughter, they then booted him off the project or drove him away. How many more times can you tell someone to rewrite a script and take this deep cut out of it or that deep cut out of it because it's too dark and it needs to be light? And why isn't Superman's suit more light? We need it brighter because that's important. That's more important than telling a good story, the shade of Superman's costume. Superman fan here. Why wasn't I complaining about the dark costume? Because I knew ultimately, after the Justice League trilogy, he would be wearing a bright costume anyway, because then he would have become the Superman we all know and love. Not that we don't love Henry Cavill's Superman as is, but do you understand? Snyder was telling a story. But this industry doesn't have the intellect or the patience. Warner Brothers doesn't have the intellect or the patience to see the long game. This is the company that are behind. the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Them and their sister company, New Line Cinema, had faith in Peter Jackson's vision, right? No one thought you could make a film, a proper Hollywood film of the Lord of the Rings saga. 6 movies now. If you read those books, people will have to call missing persons. That's how difficult those books were to adapt for Peter Jackson, but he loved them and he did it. Wow, what an achievement, because they had faith and patience. But it was part of a different culture of Hollywood back then, where these kind of directors were respected, right? Now it's all about crash bam, thank you, man, right? Thank you very much. I hear them tweeting about the MCU all the time, how emotional, how amazing Infinity War was, the greatest cinematic experience of their lives. Really? I give top respect to Faye, what he's achieved with his franchise, because it's clever, right? It's entertaining, but it isn't what they say it is. Zack Snyder was creating something special. And as I say, I'm not particularly angry that they removed him. It's the way they removed him. Of course, I still would have been upset however they removed him, but we wouldn't have this now. The infighting we have within this community is irrelevant. What's happened with us and with Zack is that, in fact, we have exposed this insular, corrupt industry. And this is why I did a video about turning this platform, Big Mouth, into the entertainment industry of the people, where you can create something and you can put it on my channel, right? Something creative, something artistic, right? And I'd have a selection process, and that would be fun, right? Rather than keep on watching and giving money to these corrupt criminals, because that's what they are. That's what they are, right? The problem is they own my favourite character, Superman. This is the industry that's retired my hero, my character, Superman. This is the industry that's taken my character, Doctor Who, poured water over its head and said, this is what it's going to be now, about our politics and about our agenda, right? This is what this industry has done now, right? It's dead. This industry is dead. This industry is worthless. And one of the only positive things about this pandemic is that they're losing billions and billions of dollars. And I'm glad and I'm happy, because they don't treat people well. They suck the life out of their talent and their actors. Then they chuck them to the curb. Caroline Flack, a presenter in the UK, suffering with mental health issues for years. While they could suck her dry, she was all right. They're allowing her to go to work stoned and drunk and with her social problems. And then when she was arrested for attacking her partner, right, very physically, very violently, because of her mental health problems, the whole world went silent. And then when she died and she took her own life tragically, they blamed, the entertainment industry blamed us. Blamed us. Not themselves, who went quiet when she was arrested, when she needed them the most. This is the industry we are talking about, boys and girls, men and women, right? People everywhere. Is this an industry worth preserving? Of course it is. I love the entertainment industry. I love storytelling. It's my industry. I love it. But for this entertainment industry to be preserved, we need to release the Snyder Cut. This industry needs to stand up with its big shoes and its big heart and say, we don't like what's happened to us. We don't like the way we behave and we treat people, our consumer and the people that work for us. This is my mission statement to you. This is how important the Snyder Cut has become. And if I was you, Warner Brothers, I would come on here. I would call me via WhatsApp. You know, I'm not very kitted up tech, but you can call me on WhatsApp and I can talk to someone without trying to stitch you up. And we can talk about this. What happened? What happened to this industry? What happened to you? A proud old company, right? Who used to put faith in the creator and the creative. And then you did that to Zack Snyder, who was creating something special. The truth is, Warner Brothers, you know you like Man of Steel. You know you think Batman v Superman is a modern day classic. You know it. But you can't publicly admit it. You know what Zack was doing was special. And out of fear and panic and lack of guts, you didn't see it through. Where bullies? Where the bullies? Not one of you in this industry stood by Zack Snyder. Not one of you. Now, I don't know privately, you phoned him up, you've been good friends to him, that's different. But publicly, maybe you feel you couldn't, you don't want to lose your career. But this is more important than your careers. And let's face it, if Mel Gibson can still have a career, anyone can. So that's a bunch of BS, right? At the end of the day, this industry has to change. It has to stop promoting from within. It has to look outside itself and open its doors. And it has to treat the people that work for it and give so much towards it, and the people who pay for it, us, so much more respect and love. Comment down below. I want to know what you think about what I've discussed today. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. Wow, that was an impassioned one. I didn't even think about what I was going to do before I actually put record. Brilliant. I'll see you again tomorrow.